So Jeff, that's all I had that I wanted to share.
I got a couple questions for you.
Great.
So Janice asked, how do you balance communication so that you're not saturating your people with different communication tools or negatively impacting production?
Yeah, that's a challenge because now that you are remote, there's so many different channels of communication. There's email, there's chat, there's pinging people on things. They're making phone calls and leaving messages. The key is to set some delays on the email going out, or just discipline yourself. Make a note that you could send a message out. You want to be able to prioritize the information that you're sending. So some information is going to be urgent and needs to be handled right away. And so those are things that you want to respond and send that out through the most urgent means of communication. Other things are just FYI and updates. And FYI and updates can wait. You can manage those, right? If you've got, oh, I got this great article, I want to send it. But if you've already sent your team 100 other messages during the day, you might just hold it and put it on the send later. So it's working on a balance of deciding, hey, what should go out now? And this may take some thought on your part as the leadership team, or you talk to your team about it and listen to what they say. And they might prefer to get email that's descriptive and has other things, and they may want to keep other communication to come through chat, or they might want something to come through a demo, or it could be a one-on-one. It could be an all hands meeting, an all team meeting that you share. So you have to categorize the information and when you're going to send it out, and be mindful of that. The other responsibility lies with the employee receiving information. It's okay to say, hey, I have a hard time managing through all the email that I get. Would it be possible for you to flag this message as urgent, action required? You can put tags in your email that say, this is urgent, action required, or FYI. And so I think you get better at knowing how to categorize the email, and then you have to work on the discipline of knowing, okay, I shouldn't send this right now. And so the other thing is reply all, right? If someone is not very good at managing their email, then you don't want to reply all to that person. And you may just want to reply to the person that exists. Or if someone sends you an email, and I'm picking on email because I'm the biggest violator of email, is you may not want to respond to everything with, oh, thank you, right? You could set an expectation with the team that, hey, if you're just going to reply, thank you, or I got it, then don't send that message, because you're just adding to the email. You can also set up rules in the email, but I think the best thing to do is as a team decide what the categories look like and what the best channel for that communication should be.
Next question, will remote teams continue to be a priority, or will it go back to how it was, or what we think is normal?
Yeah, that's the 800-pound gorilla in the room. From my perspective, what needs to happen is companies need to lean into remote teams and lean into telework and lean into virtual teams and make it more productive, make the environment more digitally friendly, because we've got a generation coming up that is they call them digital natives. They've done digital work their entire life. And so my opinion is remote teams should continue to grow because of all the benefits that we looked at. What the reality is going to be, I think it's going to be a mix. Some companies are going to embrace this remote effort. They're going to cut costs from building big buildings, because companies that are growing are running out of space, and they're trying to decide, where do we build our next office, versus being able to say, we're going to build a virtual team and allow those workers to work remotely. I think some companies are going to try to go back to the way it was. In my opinion, what's going to happen though is employees who have adjusted to working remotely and having the ability to have work-life balance and work-life integration are going to be resistant to going back into the office and commuting 30 minutes or 2 hours a day. If you just do the math, you're going to see how much that doesn't make sense to go back and forth for 2 hours when you could do the same job remotely. And so I think that this is it's going to be mixed, but I think most companies are probably going to lean toward some blended kind of workforce where some people are remote, some people are in office, and they're big companies that are doing this. You know, companies are building tools and platforms that allow them to create a more diverse virtual workforce. And they've been working on it for years and years and years. Two of my former employers have a very distributed workforce, and they are massive organizations, and they're continuing to build products and build processes and find ways to change their culture so that you can have that remote virtual workforce.
Next question. Brooke asks, how long has Diverse Recruiting Experts been a virtual company?
Since day one, I've been a champion of remote remote work for probably the last 15 years. My business partner has managed virtual teams through companies and bought and sold companies. So we built our company to be a virtual team from the ground up. We also built our company to be diverse and inclusive from the ground up. And so our core values lean toward remote and diversity and inclusion and belonging and equity. And that's just because that's a personal belief of our leadership team, and we'll continue to embrace and lean into virtual and remote work.
3 years is the exact answer.
The exact answer is 3 years.
Any other questions? Otherwise, that's what we've got for today.
Great. Well, I want to thank you for joining us. If you have any questions, send me an email, drop a note. We'll make sure that we get this content out there. We'll break it up so that you can actually select the areas that you want to select. And I really appreciate you joining us. Take care and have a great day.